Welcome back to my channel. It's Krista here to do the weekly reading for the sign of Aquarius, Sun, Moon, and Rising. If you don't know your Moon and Rising sign, Aquarius, there is a link in the description box where you can find your whole birth chart. And that way, for additional information for the week, you can always check out your Moon and Rising sign readings in addition to your Sun sign reading today. So this is for Aquarius for the week of August 22nd to August 29th. We are doing a 3-card spread using the Wisdom of the Oracle Tarot. We'll be looking at a central issue, the cause or influence, and a probable outcome card, as well as the bottom of the deck energy for the week card. And then, as always, we'll be drawing additional message cards from each of the Healing with the Angels Tarot and the Medicine card Tarot. So this is a general reading. Whatever is most prominent in your life this week, I encourage you to apply these messages to, and whatever you find helpful and healing is what I encourage you to take from this reading. So what does Aquarius need to know? Okay, Aquarius, so we've got your 4 cards here. Let's just do a little snapshot of what's going on with all cards in tandem here, and then we will look at them in their individual positions one by one. We are looking at issues of really deciding where you want to be, where you belong, and your higher purpose. That's exactly, in fact, that's the most succinct way to put this. You are really trying to decide where to go right now and why you're going in that direction. You might even feel compelled or propelled towards something that you weren't expecting, that takes you away from something you were already working on, something that you already had an interest in, something that you felt like you belonged to or that you identified with. And now you're sort of asking questions about it and finding that it's not what you thought it was, or you have changed or evolved. And like I said, you're really propelled to ask these questions and to manage these types of queries because you're being propelled through something that you consider higher than yourself. Okay, you can call that God or source or fate. So really exciting. I think there are some really exciting changes here for you. You're not doing anything willy-nilly here. There's something that you're really taking seriously. Like, this is serious for you. I don't think you're doing it with a frown on your face, but you're definitely curious about what is next for you when you make a move here. And again, it's a general reading, so this could be romance, business, travel, your health. So whatever is particular for you this week, and you feel that this fits into that part of your life, that's hopefully what's going to make sense for you here. So let's look at each card individually here. Like I said, for general energy for the week, we have the Fates. And this is why I'm saying that you feel drawn to something that you might even say a couple months or years ago wouldn't have even slightly of interest to you. You might have even poked fun at it. You might have even mocked it. Because it was misunderstood or it wasn't the time. And that's the case with all human beings. Sometimes we just need to get through something, or we need to have a personal breakthrough before we can listen to our higher self, right? Or a higher consciousness. So another way to read sort of what's going on here is to say, as an example, let's say you were brought up in a family of lawyers and judges. And it's a given that all the children in that family are going to become lawyers and judges, and you were maybe headed in that direction and maybe not asking too much, or you sort of had a sort of a lurking feeling that something else awaited you, or you'd be better or happier with something else. That's what's going on here. It's not just the feeling anymore. It's saying, oh, I see what it actually is. I have to make a decision. So it just seems like you're listening to your higher consciousness, really listening to what is good for you, what appeals to you. But like I said, it's not because your idol likes it. It's not because your best friend likes it. It's because you really feel drawn on a deep and significant, purposeful level toward this new path or road or decision. So really exciting. And I feel like it's, like I said, that's what's going to give it a lot of delight, a sense of delight, a sense of freshness, and also uniqueness, right? I mean, you want to be true to yourself. You're probably one of the major signs. I would say all air signs, but Aquarius in particular is such an individual. You would take aloofness and isolation for truth and following your own star, Aquarius, than you would over following the crowd just to have a friend. And that's not only unique to you, that's incredibly powerful. That is a leadership quality. So yeah, if you're going this route, make sure you're not alone and you're not doing it alone necessarily, or that you're not feeling alone. I don't see that here anyway. But stay true to that, because that's something that's deep in your heart that you're following. In your central position, or what represents you this week, is exchanging gifts. And I read this two ways. One is being literally in the present. This means that in order to get to this next phase or step, or, making the actual decision here at the fork in the road, as it were, you really need to be able to sit with it, really pay attention to it. Don't give it any distraction. Maybe attempt it in intervals if you have to sit down with it and, contemplate something or work something out for yourself in terms of the fate, or where you think you belong, or what you need to study to learn more about what it is that you're attracted to right now. Really being in the moment and letting yourself do that for yourself and in pursuit of this is really essential to getting there. And of course, the other way to read this is to say that this is about a give and take. This could be you saying perhaps that you really feel compelled in this direction because you feel like it's the best way to provide service of yourself to the world, and you'll get benefit from it, okay? It could just be something as super simple as, I am going to be a doctor in the world, because that's where I think my talents lie and where I'd be the best, provide the best effort and care for humanity, or use my talents to their optimum power, but I'm going to make a great salary and have good standing in society. That's just a kind of a lame example, but it's kind of what I'm talking about here. It's just about knowing that whatever you do choose in the situation you do choose isn't going to be willy-nilly. You're not going to say, oh, look, wherever the chips fall is fine with me. You're really going to work this out for yourself so that you know exactly where you stand, why, what you're about to give, and what you're going to get in return. So this is nothing about this is willy-nilly at all. When we're looking at cards like the Fates, we are looking at, in my opinion, major arcana language here. This is being tied to your star, right? So really give it the attention it deserves here, Aquarius. In what has led to this situation, or what has influenced it, is the tribe. And like I said, this is where you feel like, yeah, up until now you've been perfectly comfortable, maybe even in a rut, but you've been perfectly happy where you are and not really questioning too much. Or if you have, it hasn't been taken too seriously, or you haven't had the wherewithal or the willingness or whatever you needed up until this moment. Maybe it was an appreciation of the Fates, or a letting go of everything you've ever wanted or desired, and looking at where you really are going to provide the best service to humanity in the world. And this is what's going on here. You're just really looking at where you belong, why you would belong there, and who you're affiliated with, who are you associated with here. It doesn't have to be a breakup or an end game here. It could just be that you're discovering for yourself that while this is good and it served a purpose, maybe there's somewhere else to be. Maybe there's somewhere else you can go with these higher values or evolved values or purpose. And then your probable outcome is a real decision. I think if you are able to be in the moment here, in the present, really examine this for yourself, listen to your higher voice, you will have to make a decision here, which is a probable outcome. And we're looking at some major themes. I'm always drawn to not only the rhesus monkey with the mask, but of course this barn owl here. So we're looking at diversion and distraction. So beware about staying in the moment with this. If you are distracted, leave it for a moment. Don't drag it into other things. We're looking at issues of fate here. So just wait until you have the time and energy to sit with it and give it the attention it deserves. And then, or if someone's trying to talk you out of something, really discover for yourself what their motivation behind that would be. Maybe they don't want you to leave. Maybe they feel threatened somehow by that. So beware of intrusion, diversion, or deception here. And then there's just a great deal of wisdom. Okay, you have perhaps heightened psychic energy here, or a psychic energy you can develop if that's important to you. But definitely wisdom. We're looking at issues of wisdom and higher knowledge. So yeah, I would continue listening to your heart of hearts, Aquarius, and see where it leads you. And you can make small decisions too. Like if you feel like this is like a life-altering decision you have to make, and you feel pressured into it, I would resist that. Like I said, I would consider that a type of diversion or even deception. I don't see any issues of pressure here. I just see a drive, right? With the fates, I see you driven towards something that is larger than yourself, and you're finally listening to it, or you finally feel comfortable in making changes regarding that. So let's see what other card we have here. Polish off this reading for you. Oops. We're just looking for one jumper card. All right. So we have nature. This is really cool too, because this is cycles. So it could be that the time is up here, or you've served all you can here and it's time to move on. Anytime I see nature, I see cycles. I see seasons. I see dualities, day and night, woman, man, up and down. So there are polarities here. Make sure if this has anything to do with your psyche or emotions this week to keep those under control. Really pay attention to slippery sloping into one more heavily than the other. So a real sense of balance this week. But also ultimately what you could be doing is when you are in the present, or if you feel you need some inspiration, for example, Aquarius, maybe find yourself in nature this week. There could be answers within yourself while you're in nature. You could be even inspired by nature, by cycles, by something larger than yourself. Here's the other thing, right? Okay, so nature is its own entity, right? Like Mother Earth is her own entity. This is what's going on. Like these are huge, massive, overarching, larger than any one human being entities here. So yeah, I would really say that something larger than yourself definitively is drawing you with a lot of excitement. I don't see any fear here at all. No resistance, just a lot of excitement. And I'm excited for you, because it's probably going to work out really fantastic. Anyone who has the courage and ability to follow their heart to their highest ability and their highest intention really deserves applause. So yeah, listen to your highest nature, find peace in the secrets of nature, and remember things are cyclical, and that there are issues of polarity here, and not to get caught up in one side or the other. And then we're just going to get one more additional card for you. All right, so if I don't get a jumper, say in the next 3 or 4 shuffles, I will pull from the deck for you. Sweet. All right, so we have the fox. Fox's keyword is camouflage. If you feel on any level, Aquarius, it's necessary this week for you to stay away from, say, telling other people who may not have your best interests at heart, or like I said, someone that you know to be not necessarily jealous, but somehow threatened by this newfound role or desire or path for yourself. Just try to keep it to yourself, maybe a little bit this week until you have something situated or you've made a decision, and then you can share it at that time, and then they can share their attitude about that. But don't let anyone on the outside really influence your outcome, but you can certainly talk to people about why you could be thinking about things, but that you have to figure this out for yourself. And camouflage, another way to look at this regarding this reading this week too, is to just stay playful. Just, if people do try to pick on you, if people are putting pressure on you, if you, back to the example with the lawyers and the judges, if people really are pushing you to do something that they want you to do for whatever reason, friends, family, anyone in between, if you can sort of stay playful about that and maybe skip around it, or somehow just create a little bit of this, you're not sure, right? Then they're going to drop it. They're going to let it go. And that's going to give you more time to sort of breathe into and act into this higher purpose for yourself. So yeah, take it easy. You don't owe anyone anything this week. Really figure this out for yourself. And we're looking at higher nature and the fates this week, Aquarius. So fantastic. I'm really happy for you. If you have a second, let me know how this works out for you. And if you're not already, subscribe to my channel because I upload videos for your sign every single week. So until we meet next time, Aquarius, take good care. Bye for now.